Well, it's a pleasure now to be joined here on GCR by a Howard County native. She's from Ellicott City. She's an alum of Centennial, and she's won multiple World Championships medals. Now she is headed to the Olympics for the first time in her career in trampoline. She is Jessica Stevens, and she is with us here on GCR. Jessica, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's so great to chat with you. Thank you for taking the time, and more importantly, congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Jessica, I want to work backwards before we get to this moment, if I could, because
Mhm.
I feel like there would be a lot of people that would say, "How do you get the trampoline? Like, how can you lead me on the path?" I remember reading that there was a mommy and me gymnastics class
Mhm.
once upon a time. What's the path to competitive trampoline?
So, correct. I did start in the traditional gymnastics route, vault, bars, beam, floor. But then my favorite part of the class is at the end of the class, if the class behaved, we would get to jump on the trampoline. And that was my favorite part of the class. And so I told my mom, and I was like, my favorite part is jumping on a trampoline. And so she looked it up and she figured out, oh my goodness, it's like actually a sport. And so then I switched over to trampoline in about 2008 and have been doing it ever since.
Okay, do you have to be? I know that all gymnasts have to have an amount of daring to them, right? Because you're doing crazy things.
Mhm.
Seeing the distance that you're jumping on a trampoline, and I've watched like your competitions, I would think that you have to have a greater amount of daring than even the typical gymnast. Were you like even at a young age like an adrenaline junkie? Did you have like some I feel like a lot of other people's hearts would just jump out of their chest doing some of these things.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit brave to do trampoline because you are flipping your body around. I was definitely the adrenaline junkie as a kid. Growing up, my mom was on the national skydiving team, and then
Okay.
my dad did diving. So, sort
Yep.
of
Yep.
aware awareness sports, a little crazy sports, are kind of genetic, I think, a little
Y-
bit.
Yeah. Yep. That sounds about right. When you focused on trampoline, like, how old were you when you started really like putting the focus into trampoline?
So, my first like competitive season, I was 8 turning 9 years old.
Okay, so this has been the majority of your life. Like, I was gonna try to say, how many hours of your life do you think you have spent total on a trampoline?
Um, a lot.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. At what point did it become clear to you, I could do this? I know part of it was like trampoline becoming an Olympic sport, but at like what point in your life did it like register with you? This isn't something just that I can do for fun as a kid. There could be a path forward for me to compete in this sport and then obviously have a chance at making the Olympics.
I mean, there was no specific, it's not like I woke up one day, but it was very gradual. So in trampoline, start out jumping low and then you work your way where you start to jump higher and higher. And so when I was a junior elite, which is like the level under that I am now, I was 14 years old, and my first year I made the junior national team. And that was like a huge honor. Like I was just going out there and wanting to do the best I can, and then I end up making the national team. And so that was a good start to for me to be like, wow, like and keep doing this for a little bit. And then that later that year I competed at my first international competition. It was in Daytona Beach, Florida. It was World Age Group Championships, and I ended up winning synchronized trampoline. And again, it was the same thing that's what kind of started the hook of me falling in love with excuse me, competing internationally, and been doing it in
Wow.
2014 on.
That's so cool. So cool. Jessica Stevens, pride of Howard County, with us here on GCR. She's headed to the Olympics. Those words, right? I know you've already done like at the Pan American Games, the World Championships, all that, but the Olympics. Um, what is that moment like when it hits you? I'm going, this is real, I'm a part of this.
It's funny you ask because it still hasn't hit me yet. It's still one of those things when I like wake up in the middle of the night and I have to like turn and look at my phone. I was like, is it real? Like, is it not just some like crazy dream? Because I've been working, one day at a time. And now that I'm here, it's like I still can't believe it's real yet.
So getting the bronze, and I know you guys won the team gold
Mhm.
at the World Championships, but individually getting the bronze at the World Championships, did that like was that a moment that made you say like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm going to be in Paris competing to be on the podium, you know?"
That was certainly a confidence boost. I, I was just hope like it was amazing getting to that point because we as the United States still needed to qualify a person like as a country who is going to compete.
Okay.
And so me making it into that top eight guaranteed that the United States as a country would be able to compete at the Olympics. So just ranking in the top eight, like that was phenomenal for us. And then just being able to walk out there and just honestly just do the best I can and have fun. And it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is remarkable. Jessica, you get there, right? And like obviously just getting to the Olympics is this accomplishment. But now, how much faith do you have in your ability, as I mentioned, to go get on the podium to perhaps win the gold medal at the Olympics?
Oh, that's certainly the goal. Just trying to take it one day at a time, I think is my current strategy
Fair.
and trust my training and one day at a time and then just enjoy it. I
Okay.
mean, obviously I'm going to do the best I can, but there's so many memories to be made and I just want to experience being there.
All right, so let's talk about that because obviously you do want to win, you're going to compete, but have you thought about like, is there someone who you want to get a selfie with at the Olympic Village that stands, it's like the highest on your list?
Um, no one in particular, but just being around, the actually the best in the world. I think that will be amazing. And also, I'm often around, trampoline and gymnastics athletes, but being around, swimmers,
Yeah.
track, all the sports will be a cool experience.
I mean, how much of this, like, do you have, like, who else coming out to Paris with you? Like, what kind of support system are you going to have? And, like, how important is that to you?
So my parents are both going. It was funny. The day after I got named to the team, they're, online booking tickets and everything because they were so ecstatic
So
when I
cool.
figured out that I made it. Um, and I think my grandparents are going, but
Wow.
it's so awesome to have such a good support system that'll be in Paris with me.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Jessica Stevens with us here on GCR. Jessica, I was as I was diving into you, I know you were. Are you still? Did you finish up your your time at Maryland yet, or is?
No, I'm kind of taking my own
Un
path. I'm a senior right now, but still in school, just taking my own path. My major is criminology and criminal justice, but I recently decided to add another major of Russian, so got to get
Whew.
caught up on that.
Okay, so but reading about the first of all, I think it's understandable given what you have going on in the world that you might need to like focus on that a little bit at the moment. But as I was reading about you, it really blew me away that competing internationally, as much as that, stands out on its own within the sport, it seems like that's also helping you in some of the things that you want to do with your life beyond sports, correct?
Correct. Certainly, I'm not. It's funny, you hear little kids, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Well, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but certainly getting the chance to be in other cultures and getting to travel internationally has definitely like broadened my scope of of like what I want to study and what I want to do. So like with criminal justice, obviously, studying it here, you're focusing on the US laws, but I think it's awesome to get to travel internationally so you kind of get a broader perspective of how other countries work too.
That's cool. I mean, that's really cool. It's obviously something uniquely you'll have that opportunity to be able to file away for whatever it is you end up doing moving forward. Jessica, the actual competition at the Olympics, is the idea to like perfect the routine that you've been doing to make sure you nail it, or is it like, no, this is the Olympics. I need to pull out like all of the stops and come up with some even crazier routine than I've ever attempted before?
I think it's a little bit of both. Definitely planning on perfecting my current routine, because it is the Olympics, there's going to probably come with a little bit more pressure. So doing a routine that I am confident of doing under pressure is my goal.
The other thing that jumped out at me that I was thinking about, I don't even know if you know, because he's quite a bit older than you, Aaron Russell, who's on the Olympic volleyball team, is also a Centennial alum. There
Oh,
are
that's so cool.
Right. Okay. Well, this kind of answers my question that you weren't aware of this, but so two Centennial alums, a public school in Maryland, has produced two Olympians in the same year. How cool is that to be a part of that? What does it mean, like knowing that you're from a school that's produced two Olympians now?
It's awesome. I mean, everybody in Centennial supported me along this journey. So there's no way I would be where I am right now without all the support that Centennial and Howard Community College and now Maryland has provided me. So cool, and they did it twice. So
That's awesome.
even better.
That is really, really remarkable. All right. The food. Are you okay? So diet. Are you going out trying to try French food? Are you like I'm going to stick to like what's the plan, the game plan for what you're eating in
Um,
Paris?
so there's definitely I'm like my stomach's a little sensitive, so there's like safe foods.
Yeah.
And so definitely I'll probably stick to the village, to those quote unquote safe foods, at least before I compete. Then after
Afterwards.
I'm done, then definitely want to explore the culture. But fortunately it's France, so I'm more familiar with that style food. So
Yeah, it's not quite as like being say Tokyo last time around. Something
yeah.
like that might have been different. Jessica Stevens. So let me make sure I do this. Instagram, Twitter. Are you on any socials that like folks back here can be giving you a follow as you go through this?
I have Instagram. I am not the best at posting stuff, but obviously I'm going to start trying to post more.
It seems like a good
But
time for that.
yeah. JSteves_28 is
Uh,
my.
and then do you have any like I don't know how as a competitor any superstitions anything like that you'll be doing or maybe that like people can do like if you put on the left sock first something like that that people can do back home to help root you on during the course?
Um, Try to stay away from superstitions, but it is funny. I have this stuffed elephant, like a little stuffed animal. His name is Tucker. He has been to every competition that I've ever done before. So he's obviously going to be the first thing I pack in
100,
Paris.
no doubt, no doubt. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if you forgot to you'd have to internationally ship like it.
Oh my goodness. I think there was one local meet I forgot and I was in tears and I'm like, I
Oh,
can't do it. Can't
there you
compete.
go.
I need my
There you go.
Tucker.
Gotta have Tucker.
So Tucker will
Jessica,
be the first thing that I will be packing.
we can't say congratulations enough. We can't say good luck enough. It's an awesome thing, and to have another local athlete going for gold, representing not just Howard County but the state of Maryland, I think is something that everybody here is going to embrace. Congratulations! Thank you for taking the time for us, and best of luck in Paris.
Thank you so much.